the Spotlight Show. I'm your host. My name is Jabez Napoleon Ogbali. Like I always say every week, I'm always excited. They'll be on the screen, sharing your Sunday evening. And it all depends on where you're watching us from. We are live right now on GBKM Network from the city of Toronto in Canada. So I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zones, because some people are in Sunday evening, whereas some people have already crossed 12 midnight already in the Monday. So if you're watching this show live, I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for your continued support. If you are watching this after the live recording, you've seen it on WhatsApp, on Facebook, YouTube, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, share, and let people know more about the work we do in GBKM Network and, of course, the Spotlight Show. Remember, go to our website, www.gbkm.fm. We have current and past shows. Go to our YouTube channel, GBKM TV, and, of course, GBKM FM. Thank you so much. All right, so today's going to be very, very interesting. But before I go further, I want to appreciate every one of you that have always been there from get-go. This show is over a year now. I know how time flies, so thank you so much. And, of course, this show is made possible by, sponsors like the African Young Entrepreneur. And, check them out, www.ayeorganization.com. Every Saturday, we have a Clubhouse event, so please, go to the app Clubhouse, download it, and be able to participate and network with other entrepreneurs across the world. Thank you so much to Imani's Place, www.imanisplace.org, and, of course, Pan-African Arts, Culture, and Trade Institute. Thanks to Daniela Corporation as well, and, of course, Top Run Consulting. Check them out, www.toprun.ca. Leaders in IT training and certification. I've told you guys, man, they have awesome programs. It doesn't matter where you are, The world is a global village right now. Everything is digitized, so they have offerings very close to you if you're looking for virtual training or in person. And, of course, I know each and every one of my African brothers and sisters, everyone that supports the African all across the globe, I want to thank you, because we want you to check out www.mindunamisfood.com. Remember, mindunamisfood.com. They actually sponsor this show, and you can see them on the TV. Please go there. I know it's we like to go out to do grocery shopping, but these people have some wonderful packages. They have so many products that if you go on their site, click, add to your basket, pay, and they will get it delivered to your doorsteps. It saves you money, time, and, of course, gas from moving from your house to cities and cities to get, some of this African grocery. Thank you so much to this company. So, yes, today's topic is going to be very, very interesting, because why? Everybody now knows what COVID-19 is all about. Everybody now understands what restrictions is all about. Everybody has seen the impact of COVID to jobs, to the aviation industry, how so many pilot, air hostess has been affected. Of course, traveling too has been affected. And most importantly, many of our rights. We lost a whole lot of our liberty to this pandemic. And that's why today's topic is COVID-19 and vaccine passport. I don't know where you are, but I know it's going to affect you some way or some shape. There are some countries right now that is pushing for this, and there are some countries that is exploring these options. And I just want to know, what do you feel? Is this right or not? If you've been vaccinated, do you push for this or you don't care? If you have not been vaccinated, do you push for this or you don't care? So I'm going to go straight to today's topic, because, vaccines are supposed to be preventing transmission by making the population immune to COVID-19. That's what we understand. But right now, like I said, coronavirus is not news anymore, considering what everyone has gone through across the world. We have some information from the World Health Organization, WHO, which I want to share with you before we go into this main topic of today about, vaccination and vaccinated and unvaccinated. We all know that coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus. It's in the family of the coronaviruses. It's a virus, not a bacteria. Most people fall sick with COVID-19. We experience mild to moderate symptoms and recover without special treatment. This is not from my own website. This is from WHO. Okay. However, some will become seriously ill and require medical attention. So the whole issue about this COVID-19, it's been so, in everyone's face, everyone's mind, because everybody thinks it's a killer, it's a death sentence. But according to WHO, some people will recover and some people will fall, will become seriously ill as well, of course. And we know a lot of people have passed away due to COVID-19, and many people not due to COVID-19, but complication from COVID-19. How does it spread? That is no news anymore. It spreads from one person's infected person's mouth or nose in small liquid particles, through cough, sneezing, speaking, singing, breathing. So these particles range from larger respiratory droplets to smaller ones. So that's why they keep telling people 6 feet apart. So when someone sneezes, when that droplet spread, maybe within that 6 feet radius, it may not spread beyond that because these are very small particles. So yes, you can be infected by breathing in the virus, etc. And how does it get prevented? I'm going somewhere, because this is how we started, just to know how we got to where we are right now, because there's so much division about this vaccine in various communities, and hence we were talking about this topic. Because the Spotlight Show, what is it all about? We bring facts and figures, we have this discussion so you can make informed decisions, guys. So according to WHO, these are the ways they can be prevented. Get vaccinated, okay, or stay at least 1 meter apart from others. Even if they don't appear to be sick, wear a mask. When physical distancing is not possible, or when poorly ventilated settings are not available, make sure you wear a mask. Choose an open, well ventilated space, okay, open windows indoors. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water, or clean them with alcohol-based hand rub. And of course, cover your mouth when you sneeze and cough. This is what we've been told about the virus, but there'll be so many things out there people are saying about this virus. I just want to share some of this information because I came across it and it was quite interesting. And this is, like I said, this is not my content. These are all from the World Health Organization website. And let's go to the first image. The first image is quite interesting, guys, and I really want to share that with you because this is something that was quite widespread last year or in early 2020. So WHO confirmed as a fact that 5G mobile networks do not spread COVID-19. So initially, people have been saying that 5G network is all the reason for COVID-19. So they say viruses cannot travel on radio waves or mobile network. COVID-19 is spreading in many countries that don't even have 5G. And this is what WHO is saying. COVID-19 is spread through respiratory droplets when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or speaks, and it doesn't get transmitted through the radio waves or signals. Where people have said that it's 5G, now people are saying maybe it's 6G because this network are so powerful, they can pass through concrete. You could be underground bunker, you can still get reception. So it might do some harmful thing to the body, hence why the vaccines are there to prevent this, towards the future. We don't know. What we know is for a fact that WHO says that 5G is not responsible. Well, that was quite interesting when I saw that. I had to share that with you because a whole lot of people have forgotten some of this discussion we had last year and some of these issues that were being shared on social media. The next slide I'm going to share with you is something that I came across, and I just had to share it because I didn't know that people actually thought this is possible. Yes, pepper. I love spice. I love pepper, so I didn't know adding pepper to your soup or other meats does not prevent or cure COVID-19. Who would have thought that people actually thought that pepper cures COVID-19? I eat a lot of spice and I love spicy food, but it never came to my mind that if I eat spicy food, perhaps my airways, my respiratory passage will be open and maybe flush down the virus. But this was on the website and I just thought I had to share it. So WHO says that hot peppers in your food, though they are very tasty, cannot prevent or cure COVID-19, guys. So if you're one of those that actually thinks that pepper will cure, no, it doesn't work that way. But people are very innovative and they try to, they try different things to actually understand or see how they can prevent this cure. Because when this thing started, it seems the whole medical community were all confused. It seems everyone was confused. People were saying, try this, do not try this, do this, do not do this, So everybody started trying and looking for their own method. All right, now that we have vaccine, okay, why are people still skeptical? Why are people still skeptical about taking the vaccine? Because we know there was a whole lot of lockdown, etc. Okay, so as the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases continues to rise, even now that we still have vaccine, it's still, in some countries, the numbers are going up. It's quite interesting, guys. So yes, we're going to go into additional discussion. Let's take away this image. So what I'm saying is that when it comes to vaccines, there are actually 3 main categories. I've shared this before. I just want to share it again. We have diagnostics. So we're talking about quickly and effectively detecting the disease in the first place. So through massive testing, test kit at home. There's so many test kits. Come on. Even pregnancy now, we have instant test kit. So there's a whole lot of countries now who have instant test kit for COVID-19. Unfortunately, this is not available all across the globe. I don't know why. Even in Canada right now, we don't have instant testing. You still have to take swab and send it to the labs, or you don't have something you can just do at home and know your result. But some countries actually have that test kit, because I know in England they too have that test kit. Another aspect is treatment. Trying to alleviate the symptoms. So people who have this disease experience milder symptoms and lowering the overall death rate. So that's another aspect of it. And of course, we have the vaccine, which is supposed to prevent transmission by making the population immune. Okay, so I want to share some information from Johns Hopkins University. This is their School of Medicine. They are based in Maryland. You know, this school is research intensive, so it's a very popular school. It was founded in 1893. So, I mean, this school has a good reputation. And not only that, in terms of the number of research grants awarded by the National Institute of Health, among other measures, we've had 18 Nobel laureates from this particular school. So they have some very brilliant minds, or they create brilliant minds. So this is why I had to share this report with what they are talking about with regards to some of these COVID-19, hesitancy. Why are people so hesitant to take this vaccine? And they share some figures with us. I wanted to share that with our viewers. But before we do that, we're going to go on a quick break, guys. Let's go on a quick break. So sit back, relax. If you're just joining us, we'll be right back. We're talking about COVID-19 and the vaccine passport or vaccine mandate, etc. Sit back, relax. We'll be right back.
Are you craving some home-cooked African meals but are missing the authentic ingredients? No worries. Head over to Dunami's Food online groceries at www.mydunamisfood.com to check out our collection of the best quality African and Caribbean foods. From swallows to spices to meats and produce, expect top quality customer service and have your groceries delivered to your door when you shop at Dunami's Food. Don't forget, go to www.mydunamisfood.com and get a taste of home. It'll be like you never left. Dunami's Food, keeping you smiling always. Nous vous gardons toujours le sourire.
All right, welcome back. You're still on the Spotlight Show. Thanks for staying tuned. If you're just joining us today, we're talking about COVID-19 and the vaccine passport. I don't know what country you are, but wherever you may be, I know that COVID-19 is something that's so popular now and is affecting everyone. And I don't know in your country if they are discussing how to, restrict people's movement. So if you're not vaccinated, you can't really do a whole lot. You can't attend public events. You can't go inside restaurants to dine, etc. So we're going to talk about that today. Before we went on break, we talked about Johns Hopkins, who is a research-based medical school who has been really, really involved in this COVID-19 tracking and providing data and insight. They came up with, some things we need to know about why people are hesitant taking this vaccine. I'm just going to be quickly run through these numbers, okay? So what they're saying is that Johns Hopkins Medicine views all authorized COVID-19 vaccines as highly effective at preventing serious disease, hospitalization, and death. To support you as you make your decision, there are 12 facts and insights according to them that they've recommended. They said that COVID-19 vaccine was created quickly, but was carefully tested for safety. So a lot of people are skeptical about taking this vaccine because we all know that vaccine takes a whole long time to actually make. And we know that the government are very strict because if you're going to inject people with this vaccine, we don't want it actually killing more people. So because of the speed with how this vaccine came about, people are a bit skeptical. But like what most people say, that in terms of innovation, we've really moved beyond so many challenges and obstacles in the past before, so things are getting quicker now because of advancements in technology, knowledge, etc. But yes, they admit that it was created quickly, but however, the safety was never compromised. Okay, they said that vaccine side effects are temporary and do not mean you are sick. So they've acknowledged, yes, when you take the vaccine, there's a side effect. Because in every medicine, there's always a side effect. It's give and take. To cure this, you actually, you may lose this. So, there are side effects. They acknowledge that. So they're letting people know that yes, these are the facts. But you do recover quickly. I actually know of someone who took the vaccine and actually had lumps on their body on that part. But some people actually take the vaccine and they have no sort of a side effect. According to them, they said getting the COVID-19 vaccine can protect you from getting sick. Okay, it works with your immune system, so your body will be ready to fight the virus if you get exposed. That is what it's saying. They also said diversity in COVID-19 vaccine testing help assess safety and effectiveness. So what they're saying is that when they did their clinical trials, a whole race were taken into consideration to do the testing. I have objection to this because they said COVID-19 affects everyone, so scientists made sure the trial participants for these vaccines were very diverse. So the clinical trials for the first two COVID-19 vaccines included black people, which was just 10%, Hispanic 20%, old age groups about 25%, and people with conditions such as obesity, diabetes, heart and respiratory condition. So the U.S. study participants for this particular COVID-19 vaccine were 15% Hispanic or Latinos, 13% Black, and Black, African or American, 6% Asian, and 1% Native American, where the most populated race in this world are Asians and Black. And so I don't understand why, the percentage of the participants in these clinical trials for those particular races were very minimal. It seems that over 40% were Caucasians in these clinical trials. So why won't people be hesitant? People have said this several times. There is not medicine has advanced, but we need to be more inclusive, whereby we have to understand that people of different, we're all human beings, but our DNA is made different. So there are certain ways that there are certain diseases that cannot really affect them that much, because of their DNA. They are be able to withstand such effect, whereas there are some that don't. So that's why it's very important to make sure that there's a whole lot of Blacks and Asians who make up a large number of the population to be actually more involved in these clinical trials, as opposed to using a whole lot of Caucasians. Okay, so that is the problem, and hence the hesitance within this community. So you have to understand that, But yeah, it is what it is. I hope with time, people will be more effective in doing this, because I know a whole lot of startups right now that is making sure that the DNAs of Black people are readily available, so that pharmaceutical companies can actually do their trials more on Black people or people of color, Asians, etc. All right, John Hopkins said people are hesitant because do you have allergies? You can probably still get COVID-19 vaccine. So they say even though you have allergies, do not worry, you can still take the vaccine. That's what they said. People of color are especially vulnerable to severe COVID-19. Well, that I don't really agree with. People of color, and I don't think they're the one that is most affected with COVID-19, because the whole continent of Africa, if you look at the death rate, is very small compared to the European countries, where we have a lot of Caucasians, even the Asian countries as well. Someone said something very, very interesting. In Afghanistan, there is no testing and there's no vaccine readily available. Where are the Taliban coming from? How come they're not dying in large number from this infection? So you can't say people of color are the most affected with this disease. I don't really agree with that. So I don't know where John Hopkins got those data from, but that's what they said. They said that if you already have COVID-19, getting the vaccine will add extra protection. So they acknowledge that if you've gotten the COVID-19 and you recover, you have natural immunity. But the vaccine could actually boost your immunity more. That's what they are saying. But some people actually dispute this in different sectors of the medical, society. Some people say, oh, natural immunity is not enough. We need herd immunity, whereby majority of the population are vaccinated. We know we started with a percentage of about 60, 70. Now they've increased it because I don't know what's going on. It's just that we've gone to a state whereby a lot of people are so confused. And you can't blame people. We're not robots. We're human beings. Even people in positions of authority have their own personal issues as well. Okay. So they say more vaccination. Getting vaccinated for COVID-19 helps the others in the community, where vaccines are supposed to give you immunity. You're not supposed to be affected anymore, but now they're saying that, well, even though you have the vaccine, you can still be affected. So the more people that get vaccinated, better for the community. So this is just contradictory, you understand? But it is what it is. This is the first time the entire globe has witnessed something of this nature. So some of these lapses can be excused. More vaccination for COVID-19 means a chance to get back to normal. Breastfeeding and fertility concerns with COVID-19 doesn't exist. They said they've done enough testing that pregnant women can actually take the vaccine. And of course, COVID-19 vaccine, time is of the essence. The earlier you get it, the better. So they say, but they see a lot of people procrastinate about getting it because it's still considered experimental vaccines. Okay, because remember, they're not fully approved. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there very soon. And now, how can you decide if you should get COVID-19? According to this medical school, do your own research. That's what they're saying. They can't advise beyond that. All right, guys. So you've seen now some of these recommendations from this wonderful medical institute. Let's talk about the real issues. The real issues now is, let's go to the next image, because some of the real issues people are not talking about. Okay, well, let's talk about FDA. FDA is known to be, the body that actually regulates a whole lot of this stuff, because America seems to be the leaders of the free world, one of the wealthiest nations, or one of the nations that spend the most amount of money in whatever they believe in. Okay, now the first thing is that people are concerned about the emergency use authorization. So all these vaccines, like I said, they are not approved. They only have EUA, which is emergency use authorization. What does that mean? In the US, is an authorization granted by the Food and Drug Administration, which is FDA, to allow the use of a drug prior to approval. Okay, it does not constitute approval for the drug in the full statutory meaning of the term, but instead authorizes FDA to facilitate availability of unapproved drug in state of emergency. Obviously, COVID-19 is not a state of emergency. Why? Because so many bylaws have been made to restrict movement. people work from home now. Certain businesses are not considered essential, so they have to close during restriction. So it's more like a state of emergency, hence why they are giving this approval. Because remember, these vaccines were not even up to a year in development before they are approved. Okay, so a lot of people are like, oh, I'm very skeptical because this is experimental vaccine and I don't want to be a guinea pig. So that's some of the real issue, but nobody's talking about all this. But we in GBKM, yeah, come on, we're the mouthpiece of the community, so we always bring the information straight to you. And remember, in December 2020, the Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research Vaccine and Related Biological Product Advisory Committee, that's a long name, VROB-PAC, voted to recommend emergency use authorization for the Pfizer vaccine. The vaccine has received emergency authorization in the UK as well, but there were major concerns because this authorization will be given with unsatisfactory supportive data. Because there was not enough time to compile this data, but why would you still go ahead with the emergency use authorization? Like I said, it's a pandemic, so because a lot of people are dying, so they have to do some of this stuff. I wasn't there in making the decision. These are my assumptions. So the quickest vaccine ever developed was for mumps. Okay, if you remember back many years ago, it took 4 years and was licensed in 1967. Pfizer's COVID-19 was developed and cleared for emergency use in 8 months. And this is one of the things that fueled mistrust for this particular inoculation. Because it was so quick to develop. So government, different bodies need to do more education because there's a whole lot of misinformation on the internet. Okay, and nobody is trying to clear some of this doubt out of people's mind. Instead, people are trying to avoid it. I don't know why, but we'll get to that. So these are the real issues. The emergency use authorization. How is it that COVID-19 vaccine have been developed so quickly? The federal government made investment in the necessary manufacturing capacities at its own risk. Remember, US was able to give all this pharmaceutical company a whole lot of money, to speed up the production. Not just US as well, but UK, the EU, because according to the reports, a whole lot of people were dying. So the better to experiment with this, the quicker. And why are the vaccines still not approved after the emergency use authorization? I don't know how long it takes when an emergency use authorization is given to a vaccine and how long it becomes fully approved. And I hope it gets fully approved, because if it's not fully approved, then a lot of people are going to be more skeptical about taking the vaccine. But like I said, they need data. So what the government is saying is that as of August, which is last month, hundreds and millions of COVID-19 vaccine doses have been given to people in various countries across the world, but not every vaccine is granted an emergency use authorization before full approval. But in this case, the FDA authorized 3 COVID-19 vaccines to answer an urgent need to protect people from the coronavirus pandemic. So people who get the vaccine are encouraged to report any problems, including any severe side effects. So this way, they gather more data about this vaccine and they will know whether to approve it or not. So you see, one of the reasons why people are still skeptical is still an experimental vaccine, and people do not want to, take chances, because they say that life has no duplicate. You only have one chance. So, and who can be held responsible if vaccines become harmful? Who do you hold responsible if you take this vaccine and it has adverse effects on your body, or it results to severe complication or even loss of life? Well, the federal government in Canada, in North America, has granted companies like Pfizer, Moderna immunity from liability. So if something unintentionally goes wrong with their vaccines, you cannot hold them responsible. You can't sue them. So that's another thing people are concerned about. Like, wow, so I'm taking this chemical from these companies and they cannot be held responsible. You cannot even hold your employer accountable if they mandate vaccine as a condition of employment. So they said this protection lasts until 2024. So we're in 2021. We still have 2022, 23, 24. We still have 3 years of all this. So I don't know where we are going. I don't know what's happening. But that's the issue right now. So I hope you're getting to a point right now where I'm going to, and so I want to talk about your own attitude. Have you been vaccinated? If so, what is your attitude towards some of the issues going on? Before we go there, let's go on a quick break, guys. We're going to go on a quick break and we're going to be right back. Okay, guys? So let's go on a quick break. Thank you so much. I'm laughing because it's so interesting, guys. So we're going to go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll discuss some of the opinions out there.
Are you craving some home-cooked African meals but are missing the authentic ingredients? No worries. Head over to Dunami's Food online groceries at www.mydunamisfood.com to check out our collection of the best quality African and Caribbean foods. From swallows to spices to meats and produce, expect top quality customer service and have your groceries delivered to your door when you shop at Dunami's Food. Don't forget, go to www.mydunamisfood.com and get a taste of home. It'll be like you never left. Dunami's Food, keeping you smiling always. Nous vous gardons toujours le sourire.
All right, welcome back. You're still on the Spotlight Show. If you're just joining me, thank you so much for taking your day or your time to be able to be live on the show with us. And if you're watching this as a recording, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share. Remember, we have our GBKM app on the App Store and Play Store, so please download. So that way you get notification whenever we have a live program, or you can always go back and browse all our past shows, guys. All right, so now we're going to go to the next image, guys, and we're going to talk about, what's your attitude towards the COVID-19 vaccine? What's your attitude towards the COVID-19 vaccine? This is a very wonderful, survey that was done by the Global Web Index. So it created different types of to help us illustrate how typical attitude towards vaccines differ depending on several factors such as your age, your income, your lifestyle, and your values. And you can see on the segment we have vaccine supporters. Breakdown is about 66%. Their age is between 18 to 34. So these people say they will get the COVID-19 vaccine. So between 18 and 34, they are very, very interested in getting the vaccine. Why? Because this group, our younger people, they are likely working professional and earning high income or living in the city. And city life is very, very interesting, and people want to go about their business. They don't want this lockdown restriction because a whole lot of people mental health, especially the young ones, this age group, even the older ones have been really affected by being, limited to being at home all the time, and there's really no socializing, etc. So they will support that. Another group is called the vaccines hesitant. Okay, people who are not sure if they will get the COVID-19 vaccine. This group is more common and more cautious. People that live in the suburbs, make up about 12% of the total study. Because remember, this study wasn't done in Africa or Europe, it was done in North America. Okay, so you have to be able to understand, because it's very easy to get data in America or like other part of the world. So these are the vaccine hesitant. They are mostly female. They are low middle income, and they don't live in the city. They live in the suburb. Their age ranges from 38 to 56. Okay, and that's another group of people. Then we have another group called the vaccine obligated. People who will only get the vaccine if it's necessary for travel, school, or work. There are a whole lot of people that fall into that category. We don't. A whole lot of people fall in because we have been forced. So we have no choice. That's the thing. People have no choice. The vaccine obligated group make up by 11% of the total in the survey, and they are more towards males, mostly male, age between 16 and 24 years old. They are concerned about being able to move around, being able to go about their daily business. Then we have the vaccine skeptical, people who won't get COVID-19 vaccine. They are skeptical about it. The vaccine skeptical group makes up another 11% of the total of the survey. This group is mostly female who are aged between 45 and 64, and they are less likely to have a college degree and more likely to live in rural areas. So this group, they don't care at all. They are scared of the side effects, and they don't believe the vaccines will curtail the pandemic. And you can't blame them, because even those who are vaccinated are still in the hospital right now. They are in ICU right now, because vaccine is supposed to prevent this, but still it doesn't do that. So this is how we have this vaccine skeptical. And of course, the last group is called the anti-vaxxers, people who will not get the vaccine because they are against vaccines. These are not people who are against COVID-19 vaccine. A lot of people who do not want to take the COVID-19 vaccine, who are the vaccine skeptical, are not anti-vaxxers. They are taking several vaccines in their life when they were younger or older. But when it comes to the anti-vaxxers, these are people who are against vaccine. There's a whole lot of religious groups, for different reasons, who don't even take vaccine at all. I know a few people who belong to this group, and it's not nothing to do with COVID-19. It's just that they have never taken vaccine and they are not willing to take vaccine. Okay, even if you pay them, they won't do it. Even if you put a gun on their head, they won't do it. So they are the anti-vaxxers. So when the government, because politics is a dirty game. Recently in the parliamentary election in Canada, we can see a whole lot of names being thrown out there. People are anti-vaxxers. No, people who are vaccine skeptic are not anti-vaxxers. You have to be able to, you should stop making a wrong information about people. Because there's a popular saying, to kill a dog, you give the bad name. When you group everybody and say, oh, they are all anti-vaxxers, it's wrong. So let's be clear on that. I had to share this information. So this study actually demonstrates the broad segments of the society, regardless of their demographic or views, are at least somewhat concerned about the COVID-19 vaccine. So these are the concerns that I think the government should look into, as opposed to making laws every now and then to take people's liberties, to mandate people to go and get vaccine, or you say you cannot go to grocery, or you can't go to the gym or the restaurant or weddings or event if you are not vaccinated. So guys, I just think that the government needs to do a lot more. As we come to the end of the show, let me take you to the next image actually to show you that the rate of global vaccination is going up. So if the rate of vaccination is going up, this is 27 million doses per day, and this data just came out recently, yesterday. Okay, so if you look at the global 7-day moving average of administered doses, we have about 27.3 million per day. So people are getting vaccinated. Okay, let's go to the next image and let's see the countries. Look at this map. This is very, very interesting. Remember, this is from the World in Data. This is from World in Data, and this was just yesterday. And you can see that out of every 100 people, how many people got vaccinated? And you can see in North America, in Canada, North America, in South America, in Russia, China, in Europe, even in Australia, a whole lot of people have been vaccinated. The light blue section in Africa shows a lot of people have not been vaccinated, but there's vaccine happening. As you can see, it's very light blue. It means that there's less than 25 people vaccinated out of 100. But people are still getting vaccinated. So in Africa, it's a bit different because access to data is a bit challenging. And not only that, maybe many of these African countries do not have the necessary resources to acquire this vaccine, the same way Europe and America were able to buy ahead of time. So one of the things people have to look at is making vaccine mandates is not really the best option, guys. Whether you are vaccinated or not, that is up to you. I'm not going to judge. Okay, guys, but I don't think that, because there's so many things that people have to look at. Vaccine that was created in less than a year, people are still very skeptical. It's still experimental. It doesn't have a full approval. You're already giving immunity to all these companies from being sued. You're even giving companies the right to make people get vaccinated or declare their vaccination status to get employment. The next thing, people are going to be asking, what's your sexual orientation? What's your religious affiliation? The next thing people will be asking, what's your HIV status? Come on, guys. These are personal, private information that do not impact, your ability to work. When there was no vaccine, the healthcare professionals were praised because they're risking their life. They're out there making deliveries. They're out there at the tills in the supermarket. They're out there in emergency rooms, in the hospitals. All they did was to wear masks, social distance, alcohol rub on their hand. Now there's vaccine. You're not telling these people, go and get the vaccine or you lose your job. I just feel that there should be more education, in my own opinion. Vaccines are good, but people are skeptical because for the first time in history, this vaccine was rushed. And for the first time in history, this vaccine doesn't give you immunity. Because even though you are vaccinated, you still can get the virus. So at the end of the day, what is it? And people are very scared because now a whole lot of humans are not healthy like before. Before, we're very mobile people. We're very agile. But now a whole lot of people have become docile. People are stuck in their house playing games. People are stuck in their house, binge watching Netflix. People can't even do jogging or running because of convenience. Everybody's driving. So a lot of people have a whole lot of health issues. That's why the hospitals are swamped every day with different challenges. People live longer now. Because of that, people are a bit skeptical because they know they have pre-existing conditions of other issues, and having this vaccine may be able to, provide additional issues or concerns. But these are some of the things. So I just have to bring it up, guys. What do you think? Now that you have this different segment of people, there are people who are willing to take the vaccine. There are people who are skeptical. There are people who are anti-vaxxers, who are never taking vaccines. There are some religious sects I can call right now. They've never taken vaccine. They will not take the vaccine. And they are believing well because this is not the first pandemic. There's been several pandemics. People. You see, human beings, we are so tenacious, and we have this ability to survive. And even at that, like World Health Organization said that when you get the COVID-19, you are more likely to recover. Or some people may get prolonged ailment, but still, I don't know why all this government interfering in people's lives. I just think it's not necessary. I think for the fact that we have a cure now, okay, and a whole lot of people are getting vaccinated every day, let's watch it. Let's watch it for a while, give people a chance, understand. Let's understand the vaccine, see if it's fully approved. At that point in time, people rush it. The flu vaccine right now, I don't know for those in Africa, you don't really get a lot of flu, but in the West, in the North America, we get flu seasons. This is when we are going to winter. It gets very, very cold. The temperatures are changing. There's a flu vaccine. A lot of people don't take it because it doesn't even work. But nobody's mandating flu vaccine during these seasons. So guys, I don't know guys, this is just my own 1 cent, and this is why I love this show. I've come to the end of the show. I hope it's been informative. You've been blessed with the information we provided. So what do you think? Are you going to get vaccinated? If you're already vaccinated, are you one of those that is pushing for everybody to get vaccinated because you've gotten it? Or are you one of those that say, I don't care, I'm vaccinated, I'm protected? Or are you one of those that say, you know what, if this vaccine is done for the population, it's going to be very ridiculous to have given more than 50% of Americans are already vaccinated, you know. More than 50% of Kenyans are already vaccinated. It will be nonsensical to say, okay, you want to kill half of the population. I don't know if anybody in the same mind will do that, but who knows? You know, but people have so many concerns. This is why government needs to start debunking some of these myths, and of course, telling their local representative in government to do the same. All right, guys, thank you so much. If, like I always say, you know, this show is 30 minutes long every Sunday. So if you have any product or service you want us to talk about on this show, send us an email, you know, a spotlight@gbkn.fm. Okay, guys, reach out to me on Instagram, JAYGBES, Jabez. That's my Instagram handle. So like I always say, you know, start thinking of that business, a career, have multiple streams of income. Very, very important. Network with like minds, guys. Very, very important. Okay, provide a service, manufacture a product. If you need help, reach out to us. We are here. We are the mouthpiece of the community, and that's why we pride ourselves that we will always let you know what's going on in the community. Thank you so much. Continue to support GBKM FM, and of course, you know, you be that role model, guy. Wherever you find peace is your home. I always say that every time. If you find peace in Africa, that's your home. Participate in local politics. You know, be involved in the community, man. Come on, guys. To whom much is given, much is expected. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave you with this. You're always in the spotlight. The change you seek begins with you. Good night.
Are you craving some home-cooked African meals but are missing the authentic ingredients? No worries. Head over to Dunami's Food online groceries at www.mydunamisfood.com to check out our collection of the best quality African and Caribbean foods. From swallows to spices to meats and produce, expect top quality customer service and have your groceries delivered to your door when you shop at Dunami's Food. Don't forget, go to www.mydunamisfood.com and get a taste of home. It'll be like you never left. Dunami's Food, keeping you